Hey everyone, welcome back with another episode of David Dean. I'm Vishnu Vijayan. Before we get into today's topic, I just want to ask you something. When was the last time you just promised something to yourself and couldn't do it? Maybe something related to waking up early or going to gym or building a skill that you ever wanted to do. Anyway, maybe you just broke that promise again and again. What would you just feel? Here is the thing nobody talk about. When you just broke that self promise to yourself, it's not actually a missed action or activity. It's something inside. That inner critic, that self, something like a voice in your head, and also that shame and that guilt is appear. And it says, I knew this thing. You always do this thing to yourself. You just come up with the plan and you just ruin that in the first place. The thing which is nobody talk about every time you just broke that self promise. Someone is noticing. It's yourself. It's just reading the pattern. You always breaking that promise to yourself. So, do you want to get along with this thing? Do you want it to confront it? Do you want it to understand it's deeper, what's going on inside us? So let's begin from the basic. The self-promise is actually an imagination. It's something like when you said I wanted to wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow, you're imagining a version of yourself more clear, have more clarity, more discipline, and it's so good to be. And the thing which is like the psychology call this thing tempered self-appraisal. The brain image studies show that when you image yourself, the future version of yourself, it's something is the pattern shows related to, not yourself, a stranger. Someone you don't have any relationship with, no idea, no clue, but you really wanted to be that person. You don't know what it will gonna take it for to become that person, but you really wanted to be that person. And this is a fact every time. It's, like when you do that self promise, this is an act of hope. And this act of hope is actually help you to build that person in the future. So it's a great thing having this one of those kind. And okay, let me ask you something. When was the last time you just, you know, took a resolution? A year, like a beginning of a year, or after a hard month, or a hard evening, you're just visualizing something, the things that you just wanted to build, a change that you really wanted to have in your life. You're just planning for months and years, and you're really just planning to start it now onwards. You know that clarity. You could even see that future version of yourself ahead. So beautiful, and it's like a kind of hope to be that person. And when reality happens, the alarms get off. You don't want it to get out from your bed. It's cold outside. You don't want it to work out. You don't want it to tie your shoe. You just want it to be there because it's uncomfortable. And that hope that make you feel so good is actually become an evidence that against you. So that's the case I wanted to talk. And this moment, and later you realize, and guilt about it, and shame about it, why I couldn't do it. This is the thing you need to understand, this guilt and the difference between the guilt and that shame. These things are actually having connection to each other. The guilt means I did something wrong. The shame said I'm wrong. That's the difference. The studies say this thing. A healthy guilt is actually help us to motivate and rebuild things. But shame is not, on the other hand, the shame is not in that way. It help you to let go of that dream that you ever had or that promise that you ever kept. Because shame always painful. The peoples don't want it to stay in that pain. They wanted to let go. The only solution they ever got is that one choice to let go. They wanted to do. I saw so many people who say this because of the shame. So I just wanted to share a small incident that happened in my life. 1 month ago, I decided to, decide I just promised something to myself. It's a big deal for me. It's a big decision for me. Something like recording and uploading one video per every week. Yeah, sounds clear. I was so confident. Even every week I try so hard to do like based on my promise I wanted to upload it. So I try my level best. And I did it. Every time I'm get more motivated and more feel like good about inside my mind. And you know what? Something has happened in the end of that month. I didn't actually get that motivation to record a video and upload, and I tried to decided to procrastinate. I just always feel like I was gonna upload it next week, and I took a break. And that skipping that 1 day or 1 week is actually very easy at the moment, but later something happened inside. I feel that guilt. Why I just broke my consistency? Why I just broke my promise? I'm lazy. I always do this thing. That inner critic in my mind always repeatedly just asks me, why did I do it? Like something like I just realized it. That's true. I lose my confidence. I don't like in that next week. I couldn't even post my video either. Like I totally feel like I lose my talent. Am I good enough? Am I really gonna be successful in this thing? I questioned myself. I couldn't even show that same confidence when I consistently uploading my video. And I regret about my decision. It was not a missed action. It was actually an evidence against me, my promise. And I blame myself. And I was in that literal shame. But you know what? I just gone through this thing many times. So I know what I needed to do. I should need to show some sign that I still care about, which means I don't need it to do a bigger task like, recording and uploading right away. I only needed to do something for my future, something related to, okay, reading an article or researching about the next topic. That is a simple thing that I could do, or recording a 5-minute video for the confident. And I did it. Now I feel like more relaxed, and I could even post like I knew it I could post regularly. I just figure it out what I need to do. So that's what I wanted to say. But most cases, when people confront that shame, there's the only choice they got is actually, letting go, letting it leave, and abandoning your true dream. So I don't want you guys to do it. So I'm just come up with some plans or some ideas that I understand from these things. I know before that I need to tell about that trust you just keep with yourself in a daily life. You know what is self-trust? Self-trust is similar to the trust we keep with the real people in a real time. Something like, it built by slow, consistent action and easily gone through some kind of inconsistency. So the thing which is the longest relationship we ever had is actually with ourselves. So when you do that, abandoning your dream and things, it actually record everything. It says it's an evidence of your inaction or some kind of abandoning your true promise, things like that. So did you ever notice you have a best friend? And that one guy always breaks small promises, big promises, consistently breaking promises. Do you believe that guy? Never. Even though you don't hate him, but you can't just believe that person. This is the same thing happened to your mind too. When it's actually like the evidence is there, you always break your promises. So how do your mind do you believe that? Believe you. But the good thing which is you can actually rebuild that trust in yourself. Nobody actually care about it. Like even in that shame, even in that inconsistency, even in that setback, you can actually rebuild your confidence. You know what? What is real growth, which doesn't mean being a consistent trajectory. It always like ups and downs. Some days are good, some days are very worse. Sometimes you lose total motivations and confidence. But you need to get back from every setback. That's a real growth means. So that's what I wanted to say. You can see that in my example, as my example, I've gone through a lot of setbacks and a lot of feelings too. Like I almost decided to shut down the project, the creative project that I'm doing right now, a lot of time. But the things actually motivated me to move forward is I can't just abandon my real true dream. I needed to pursue that. That's the only thing helped me to move forward. So you need to show that compassion in your life. This is another thing. In this period of in this period of time, when okay, when this happened, when you just broke that self-trust, self-promise, you used to criticize yourself. So in this time, you need to use that self-compassion. You need to use that self-compassion. Self-compassion, you need to show some compassion to yourself. You need to say that to yourself. I'm human. This is how we grow through setbacks. Some one day of or like one day of setbacks or one day of inaction doesn't determine my future. All my progress is over there. Only thing which I need to do is get back from every setbacks. That's what's gonna help you. And you need to say this thing and hold this thing. And another thing that I really wanted to say, it's a Vedic philosophy. It's a verse say you are allotted to do your prescribed duties, but you are not entitled to the fruit of your action. This means when you do something for that immediate result, you can't see it. You just disappointed and killed early. But when you just believe, I do believe in my action, I will gonna do it, whatever it took, or how many months and how many time it's gonna take. I will be consistent enough to be stay there, and that's real things that we need to build with ourselves. Don't aim for that result when you do that work. You be honest with that every time you need to see that progress in yourself, improve yourself, be consistent, and that consistency bring you that result one day. And in my videos, you could see that I'm just only having few views. Sometimes it's less than 10. And there is a video on my uploading section that only got 2 views, and 2 views are actually from my side. I just watched that from different devices. And that might be the funniest thing. And I knew it when I just put my thought into it, when I just practiced much thought into it. I could see that in me, like a result one day. I'm just hoping to be. So the only thing that you need to realize, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need it to be like a, the growth doesn't mean to be consistent, a straight trajectory of consistency. It's meant getting back to the track after every setbacks. So I hope this video will help you to understand better. See you in another video. See you another video. Bye.